Hi, today we are going to review a new bag from MindShift. Now, as you might remember, last year we have tested this bag. This is the MindShift Panorama bag, and we really like this bag. It's very light, it's very well made, and it has the amazing rotation mechanism from MindShift. Now, this bag does have a few drawbacks that we have mentioned last year. First and foremost, it can't hold a laptop inside. So if you have a 13-inch laptop or a 15-inch laptop, you physically cannot fit it inside. Another problem is that if you have a lot of large lenses, you can't put them in the rotation mechanism or rotation compartment. And on the top, you can put them inside an insert, but it will occupy the entire compartment. So you lose all the space that you have for personal gear. So this year, MindShift quite quietly announced this bag, which is the Horizon. Now, as you can see, the Horizon is very similar to the Panorama bag, but it's larger. Actually much larger. Now, if we compare the two bags, the Panorama on the right, on this side basically, is 22 liters bag. This is the space that you have inside, both in the rotation mechanism or rotation compartment and on the top, on the main compartment. Now, on the other hand, on the Horizon, you have a much larger capacity. So this is a 34-liter bag. Again, you have about 7 liters on the bottom and the rest on the top, on the main compartment. So this is a huge difference between the two bags. Now, this bag is actually so big that it almost as large in terms of its space or its capacity as the Pro bag from MindShift, which is about 38 liters. But as we will see in a second, it's smaller in terms of its weight and size, general size, considerably actually smaller than the Pro bag from MindShift. Now, let's go on. In terms of height, the Panorama is about 50 centimeters or about 19.7 inches, while the Horizon, as you can see, it's much taller. It's about 62 centimeters. And the difference is really exemplified, or you can actually see it in the top compartment, which is much larger than what you have on the Panorama. And on the second part of this video, we are going to show you how much stuff you can actually put inside this compartment, which is really huge. If you compare this to the height of the Pro bag from MindShift, the Pro bag is about 57 centimeters or 22 inches, so it's slightly shorter than a Panorama, but it is larger on the two in terms of thickness and width. So it's a much larger bag, but not necessarily taller. Now, in terms of weight, the Panorama is a very light bag. This bag with the rotation mechanism is about 1.3 kilograms or about 2.9 pounds. The Horizon, on the other hand, is about 1.8 kilograms or about 3.9 pounds. So it is heavier, but not by much. And if you compare the Horizon to the Pro bag from MindShift, we're talking about quite a big difference. The Pro is about 2.5 kilograms or about 5.3 pounds. So again, the jump from the Panorama to the Horizon isn't very big, but from the Horizon to the Pro, you're getting into some very fairly heavy territory. So this is in terms of the weight. Finally, in terms of pricing, the Panorama is about $200, not extremely cheap, but for what you're getting, we think that it's a really great deal. The Horizon is slightly more expensive. It's about $260, while the Pro is very expensive. You're looking at almost $400. So the Pro is really for professional users who want to take a bag with a lot of equipment for several days in the field. So from here on, let's talk about specifically about the Horizon and what it has, and also have a few shorter comparison between it and the Panorama. Okay, so let's look at the horizon. As you can see, we got it in blue. The Panorama bag was in gray. Both of the bags comes in the same color, so you can get either the blue or the gray versions. Now, in terms of general design, the horizon is very, very similar to the Panorama. Basically exactly the same design, simply larger. The only external difference that we could find is this compartment on the front, which doesn't exist on the Panorama, excuse me, which is nice. It's not very, you can put a lot of things which are very thick in this compartment because it doesn't have the space for it, but we used it for cables and it was great, and you can put all sorts of fairly thin things on the front. So this is basically the only compartment which you don't have on the Panorama. All the other compartments are the same, but simply larger. And this is, or was, one of our biggest complaints about the Panorama in terms of its usability, in terms of the things that we can actually put inside both the rotation compartment and the upper compartment. Now, if we talk about the rotation compartment, which we have here, the rotation mechanism is exactly the same as you remember or you have seen on the Panorama. Very simple. You simply take it out and open it. Now, what you can put in here and you couldn't put in the Panorama is basically a larger body and more lenses. So in the Panorama, you could have put, let's say, a mid-size camera with a lens attached and another lens. In here, you can put a full professional body, say a D810 or 5D Mark III or something of that sort, plus 24 to 70 lens. And another lens. Now, we have discovered that if you're using a mid-size body, in our case a D7100, you can actually attach another lens to the body and add either 2 or even 3 lenses if they are small. So if you're using, for example, a 50 millimeter lens, we're using an old Nikon 50 millimeter lens, which is fairly thin. You can put it on top, basically, of another lens with some divider between them, and actually have 2 lenses in each of the segmented compartments inside this entire compartment. So this is actually very useful. Again, if you're a professional photographer, you're probably going to use a main lens with a body and another lens. So this is probably what you're going to use in this compartment. Now, in the top compartment, and this is really amazing, we decided to shoot an entire segment of video just showing you what you can put in the upper compartment. And several weeks ago, we took this bag for a shoot in Intel. We had a chance to interview one of Intel's vice presidents responsible for developing the Thunderbolt 3. Now, obviously, this is not the bag which we would necessarily take for this kind of job usually or normally. But because we had this bag and we had a chance to review it, we decided that we will try and see how much we can actually fit in the top compartment. And as you can see now on the video, there is simply tremendous amount of room that you have inside. So basically the amount of stuff that we were able to squeeze is really mind-boggling. It's like those Volkswagen Beetle cars where you see clowns getting inside and another clown and another clown and another clown, and you don't really understand how many of those can actually fit in the car. But again, as you can see, the amount of space that you have here is really remarkable. And we were able to put all of our video equipment plus a lot of other accessories in this compartment and shoot for a full day, and then put everything back inside even when we didn't have a lot of of time and just squeeze everything and get out of there. So it was really, really useful. Obviously for hiking or taking this bag into the field, you will have a lot of space for either your photographic gear, and you can use the separately sold insert that MindShift sells. It costs about $50, and it's exactly the same insert as you have on the Panorama. The difference, of course, is that on this bag on the Horizon, you have about 10 centimeters extra of extra space to put all sorts of other stuff inside the top compartment. So this is really cool. We didn't really have a chance to test the insert, and we hope that maybe in our next review, MindShift will send us one insert so we can show you how it works both on the Panorama, the Horizon, and possibly on their next version of a rotation bag. But basically, in terms of the size, we measured it, you have about 10 or 11 centimeters extra on the top of the Horizon, while on the Panorama you don't have almost any space. So you either use just another extra insert with the camera gear and no other personal stuff, or in this case you have at least some room for more personal stuff besides the extra gear that you can carry on top. So in terms of what you can do with the Horizon versus the Panorama, this is a big plus. Another plus is the ability to put a laptop inside the top compartment, which you have seen just now on the screen. This is really cool, and this is something that was really missing from the Panorama. Now, a lot of users of bags for the field will not see this as a minus, that you can take a laptop with you. But if you're traveling with this bag to another country or on a plane, you're usually taking your laptop with you, and this was missing from the Panorama, and you can do this here. What we really slightly didn't like in terms of how they actually implemented this is that it's not very comfortable. You just have one mesh net divider inside the upper compartment. You don't have a specific compartment for the laptop, which is a drawback. And this is something that we convey to MindShift maybe in a future model or a second version of the Horizon. They will figure out a way to actually do a specific compartment for the laptop. But even in this configuration, you can just put the laptop inside a specific insert, a laptop insert, and put it inside the bag so it won't scratch or hurt anything else that you have on this compartment. So this is in terms of the differences. In terms of other things that you have on this bag, what we want to show you is how you can actually mount a tripod and a water bag. So let's go and take a look at that. Okay, so there are two ways to put a tripod, to connect the tripod onto the bag. The first is on the front, so this is fairly simple. You open this and remove this part, and on the front you remove these two cables, and what you need to do is basically open the legs slightly, put them like this, and you adjust the length of this cable so it will fit the head of your tripod like this. Secure it firmly, and you have your tripod on the front. So this is one option to secure your tripod to the bag. We actually don't prefer this option because we don't like the tripod protruding too much from the front of the bag. We actually prefer the second option, which is putting the tripod on the side, which is what we are going to show you right now. So let's disconnect this, put the tripod on the side for a second. It's very easy, everything is very quick, that's it. And as you can see on the side, we have this side pocket right here. We use it from time to time to put a water bottle. In a second, we are also going to show you how you can actually put a water pack in this bag. It has a specific compartment for this. So you put two legs inside and one leg on the outside, and then you have this cable which you can secure like this to the side of the bag. It draws the bag slightly to the side of the tripod, but if you have a bag with a lot of gear, you will usually not feel that too much. In this case, because the bag is empty, you can actually see that the tripod draws the bag entirely to the right. But it's not really a problem when you have a lot of gear inside the bag. So this is in terms of using a tripod. Now let's see how you can put a water pack inside this bag. So let's do a quick demo of how you can actually put a water pack inside the bag. What's interesting about this bag is that as with all the other compartments, the water bag compartment is also larger than the Panorama. Panorama was very hard to squeeze the water pack inside. In this case, it's slightly easier because the compartment is larger. So as you can see, you can open it in here. It's much larger and have more room. You can actually put a 1.5 liter water bottle inside if you prefer to take a water bottle. Again, you can put it in here as well. So all you need to do is take the water pack, put it inside here, and take this part, and you have this special place here for drinking. Let's close it, and that's it. Very, very simple, more convenient than a Panorama. So let's conclude this review of the MindShift Horizon bag. Now, just with the Panorama, we really like this bag. It has an amazing build quality. The rotation mechanism is superb. It's fairly light. It is heavier than a Panorama, but because of the larger size, you have so much room, so much more room to put stuff in that the difference in weight is actually not that big. So in terms of weight, we would actually say that this bag is fairly light. Now, in terms of the things that we thought that were slight drawbacks in the Panorama, this bag actually fixes most of them. So the Panorama had was incapable of carrying a laptop, and this bag is. And the Panorama also had a problem with carrying a large amount of photographic gear, and in this case you had to sacrifice the room for personal gear. This bag, the Horizon, has so much more room in the upper compartment, as we have shown you, that you can carry with you quite a lot of photography gear while still maintaining quite a bit of room for your personal gear, clothing, food, maybe other equipment that you need to carry with you. And in this respect, this bag is really superb. Are there any drawbacks to this bag? Well, price aside, I would say that the only thing that we would like to see changed is a specific place for the laptop. Currently on the upper compartment you don't have any specific compartment or location where you can put your laptop aside from the mesh net inside the top compartment, which is the only divider inside this very large compartment. So we would like to see a dedicated compartment for the laptop, and maybe slightly more mesh nets and smaller compartments or places for putting small items like memory cards or maybe other cables and other things that you would like to put and not have basically moving around this very large top compartment. But otherwise, we don't have any drawbacks that we can find on this bag. You can read our full review of the Horizon on LensVid.com.